You want to hold something. It's too much for another person. It's nice only for a short while. It's nice only for a short while. If somebody who feel insecure, maybe they may like this. You need me, but after a while it's too much. You must not try to catch anybody. You're not a spider. It's a reaction that comes inside because something feels maybe you are not worthy enough by yourself without any technique. You see? And so it feels that then already it's not such good ground. You must be aware of this. Not that you can be automatically strong like that, but relationships also offer some opportunity to discover what is true and discover what within ourselves is so quick to compromise. And you see,
yes, I can see, no? But it's still there.
Then you must, and then it's a good thing you come to satsang, because then you can begin to look at this tendency to cling, or to be maybe a fear of rejection or something like this, or in relationships, doesn't work on trying. Like you try so hard to make it, doesn't work like that. It don't work. There has to be a freedom. There has to be an inner strength, a clarity, a wisdom, all of these things. You see? It doesn't work on, how much you give. I give so much. It's not the payment. And how much you try, and you talk, and it don't work. It pushes people away. Because this is too beautiful to try. Something must come, and it must be there as a freedom. And if you are aware of this, and somehow intuitively you know when to allow space, and all this will come. But I believe you must also make use of this insight. You have come now, you see there is something that feels, I need to hold this thing. See? And it's the same thing with freedom also. Sometimes you feel, as soon as you realize the true state, you feel the immensity of being, and something goes, how can I keep it? And this one is the same one in the relationship also. How I can keep it? You see? How are you going to keep? Relationship's not something to keep. It's to be enjoyed out of your freshness. And in your strength, you find that everything becomes more pure. Everything wants to be with you when you're empty of intention. Too much intention creates tension. You see, when you are empty from this need, from any kind of need also, and this is not an arrogance, it means just in your natural state of being. You don't need to be approved of, You don't even feel you need to be loved even. Can you imagine such a thing? Of being in a place where you don't need to be loved even. It's a very quiet place. In this place, your love becomes very open, very broad, very beautiful, very strong. But for now, I'm not asking you to jump over this thing. I say, look at what it is that feels anything good, I must grab it. Just to look at that, and who is doing this? You see, who needs this thing? And be very, very quiet with this kind of question. Just be very quiet. In fact, I'm going to ask you to do this exercise. Maybe tell me again tomorrow what happened. Just look and feel this. Recreate that scenario in your mind and see what comes up and feels. If you're going to be abandoned or left or something is behaving like this, and take a look. You know, what are you afraid of? Push it to the extreme. Go to the extreme in your image and see what will be the worst, in the worst case, what is going to happen. How it's going to feel. You see, and see who suffers it. Who really is suffering it. But don't forget that you are also observing. So these three things. One is, what do you imagine is going to happen if your fear comes true? That you're going to be rejected. You cannot keep what you want to keep. And you feel pain. Already I look in your eyes, see something is going to leave you. Then you go and see what happens. So you are left now, abandoned. They don't want you. And then feel what comes up. But also be very present in the place where you are looking. And be at the same time with the feeling. See what happens. What are you afraid? You see? Like this. This is very intelligent work. Looking at it. And then somehow you feel maybe the whole feeling of the worst feelings that you imagine is going to happen. And then see actually who really is suffering it. If you can identify the one who is suffering it. Don't fall inside the story though, just look. Be very present that you are looking at this. But at the same time, give it the best shot at really trying to see and look. You can do this with any feeling, any kind of thought, you can do it. Then you'll come to see what is functioning in your name and find out, is it really you, or is it just some kind of image that is a projection of your mind? And some space will come. And that space will be something very important to recover again. And not be afraid of this experience. Invite it even. Next time you invite the experience to come. Throw the best punch. Throw the best punch. Go to extreme. But I will only look at you only through my eyes only. Look, don't interfere, don't judge, don't interpret. See if you can do it. It's a skill that you will quickly develop. Because it's so, the fruits of your looking is so sweet. It will be sweeter than any relationship. To discover your freedom. I'm free of this thing. It wasn't that I need this thing, but what more important, that I see that I am free of the need to be this. And amazingly, when that space is cleaned inside you, it's what a beautiful attraction also. People want to come. Because even if you have some agenda in your mind, you see, that already you have an eye on someone. And then you start to get all your best firepower together to impress. But still, they will smell it. If they are a bit intuitive, they'll smell. This one is dangerous, no? She's going to hit me on the head and pull me inside, and I'm finished. But honestly, this is a good thing to do. Any sort of thing that you feel is keeping your mind or your attention trapped into a kind of scenario, you're afraid of it, then you start to protect. We protect our fears and our attachments like this, the sense of vulnerability. And it's not a good way to go through life at all, as you know. I don't have to even tell you like that. Because it takes so much energy, you see. So this is a way to go through these things. So if you like, if you really understood what I'm asking, then look at it. I don't know if you're able to do it outside of the actuality of the situation, but some people can do it. They can really represent and create their worst case scenario of suffering or something, and they can really be present and watch what happens inside. If you are able to do this, it will be a very good exercise. for you. And please come give me some feedback, what you have found. As long as this is here, and the consciousness is here, the vital force, some activity is open for business in this domain of the body, mind, the person. Always some idiosyncrasy, something is going to be there, and it can seem to be almost like addictive or really impossible for a while, to bypass this, because it's flowing in the veins, it's in the lungs, this desire, this urge. And even though we go from one relationship to another, say for in your case, and you see, but either the right one has not come as yet, or something is onto it to say, this is, it really is not this, it cannot be this. Because even if a very beautiful person comes, it's not answering this thing here. They cannot answer this thing here.
My greater intelligence knows that this, nothing outside of me can bring satisfaction, can bring happiness if it's not inside. Not only my greater intelligence, but my experience in this body with my relationships knows this as well. Yeah. But this pattern, and I think it's probably common for humans, is the one most persistent vasana I have had in my life.
Yes. It's a lot of people are in the holding station, around this one. Yeah. They're having to make bigger and bigger places to house them. The queue of waiting to get past this vasana, waiting to be saved by the one on the white horse or whatever it is, or the other way around or whatever. So how to get out of that? Continue to immerse the attention inside the heart itself. Just this thing. You see, everything is only a rescue remedy for a little while. But this of being immersed inside, coming back in your attention inside the heart, which is beyond need, somehow neutralizes this power by itself. But for a while it may seem like it's a very strong thing, but I don't see how these powers can win. We may be carrying them for a very long time. Some say even lifetimes. There's been this seed of need and that type of projection there for a long time. You see. So this would be the most effective, the most consistently reliable remedy for that one. You see. Staying in that space which you are constantly reminded of your own self. The head will turn. It will do that, and you will learn to watch that. And sometimes only when you become sick of a thing, then you have to drop it for a while. You get sick of the thing, or you get sick of yourself. Then you can walk away from yourself. Walk away from that thing. You see. And then, surprisingly, a true partner may come, which will not come to you while you're touting. You see, will not come, you see. So you have to get over this thing, out of the need, the neediness, and feel the freedom of your own self, the completeness of yourself. Then nothing will be in the way. Nothing will be in the way. You see. And it's true, maybe it is the vasana of humanity. The need to be with someone. We used to say that there was a saying, people say, but man is made for woman and woman is made for man. And I said, no, woman is made for God and man is made for God. Not we complete each other. That's a very mischievous thing. We don't complete each other. We complement, but not complete. You see? Your relationship of love complement, but it doesn't, you see? It doesn't fulfill, it's not, that's what we're here to do. You may think that and you may live all your life in that. But as soon as somehow you discover the truth, then I feel you will be a very good partner. Because your partner will be your guru and you will be their guru. Because you're both focused inside the same love for truth and not pulling away. Otherwise, so many relationships, they stand in the way sometimes, it seems, no? Of that, because you get so entangled in duality. Most relationships, they promote duality. Some few enhances the search for truth. And somehow, you've known this as well too. It could be a friend, it could be anybody. Your connection, your relationship as a friend, as a partner, as whatever, enhances your search for truth, beautifies it. But it is not so common. You see? But at the same time, every relationship can be made use of to find the truth also. Because it will get a relationship, romantic relationship, is the one thing that will get to places where other relationships can't reach. You see, they'll stick you in places no other relationship can reach. And then at least you say, aha, even here I can see. Yeah, the whole fox is still surviving in this place. You see, so the relationships can be used. Everything can be used. And in fact, as you go more deeply into the truth, you'll find everything is reflecting yourself. Every predicament, every phenomenon is a mirror into your own being. So use even your bad relationships as opportunities to discover the truth. I'm feeling very happy to say that somehow. Even the bad relationships, you make use of them to even discover the truth. Of course there are other persons. I am one person, that one is another person, and I know even more different because I am a male person, there's a female person even. You see, so what are we saying to say this thing? Like throughout the day, in all your interactions, are you strongly in the conviction you're a woman behind all your thinking? Is your thinking feminine? Or does it move out of these contexts? So none of it is really settled. You're not constantly thinking as a woman. Sometimes it's completely neutral. It has nothing to do with your gender at all, isn't it? So these things are not stable. But when we identify with the body and with sense of personality and the distinction of being a unique entity, a unique person, then the sense of other people become more sharp for you also. And then duality is at its most potent expression. And in your natural mind, it will not trouble you. Some people, if they look at the flower, then they lose their sense of self. If somebody speaks with them, then they lose their sense of being present very quickly. And with others, they can be with 1,000 people, and it makes no alteration inside their being. So that capacity is in everyone. That potential is in everybody. First starting with the feeling of being me. So there comes with that a kind of self-consciousness, a psychological self-consciousness, where you're on your best behavior, you're constantly feeling that you have to be aware of how you are. Like many people, they're perfectly fine, and you put a camera in front of them and they start to do kind of things like this. And the camera maybe has no film in it, but just put the camera and already, or something, because you start to feel self-conscious, and then you start to pose. And many times it seems, with the sense of ego, we are posing. So when we meet another being, we feel we have to be a certain way, and so we become tired of this, needing to be something else. And we imagine that the other people expect you to be this. But that's not necessarily true. Maybe they'll just like you to be yourself, so that they can be themselves with you, isn't it? But we imagine that they require from you to be what we imagine they're projecting you to be. And it just goes on. It goes on like that. And two people came to see me in London. They were from the same place in Dublin. And one came first. We had a beautiful meeting, one-to-one in those days, and very quiet, very still. Then the second appointment came a bit early and overlapped, and it was raining outside. So I said, okay, come in. So this woman came in, and then she said, hi, how are you? You like a cup of tea? I go put the kettle on. I'm in the kitchen making the thing. I hear chick, 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 chick. And I didn't like it. So I came back in with my 2 cups, not looking very happy. What you talking about? Well, first one say, well, actually, after our talk, I just wanted to be quiet. I just wanted to be quiet. And then she came in the room, and I recognized her from my own town. So I said, how you doing? And she says, oh, fine, fancy seeing you here, kind of stuff. And then ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, after a bit. And then I said, what about you? And she said, well, when I came here, I've had enough of people. And I just wanted to come and just talk, to be with you. And then I was surprised that somebody was here. Then I saw he's from my town. So I said, hi, how are you doing? And then he says, I'm doing fine, how are you? So in the end, 2 people meet, none of them want to talk. And a conversation is arising between them. Who is having this conversation? Cultural conditioning is having a conversation. Now, what has all got this to do with your letter now?
Last year I was here, same time in January, and you said to me, you're getting very close to something big, and you have to push away people, places, and things out of your life for a while. Then you can bring them back in. And that was successful, most of the people and places and things. But there are just these 2, and it seems as if it's just the ego's subtle way of keeping you back.
I see.
Okay.
I see. Don't wait for things to be perfect out here. Don't wait for things to be perfect out here. You live in here. You leave there and go be in here. Because when your attention is again focused inside your own self, the attachments, the pull will weaken. Whenever you are established again in your own neutrality, your own presence, everything becomes secondary. They can be there, but they don't have commanding power. Just there. Such is the magnificence of being. But if you're waiting to try and put it right, this power you may not have.
Joseph Goldstein, do you know him?
No.
He's a Vipassana teacher in California. He had a simple sentence, but he said, your mindfulness is not quite strong enough. You have to develop your mindfulness more.
Oh. That's not true. I wouldn't put it like that. Because then it means that you are going to have to develop some mindfulness now. I just say somehow, be aware even of this. Be aware of even this thing that says, okay, you have to do another. Simply just be aware, because awareness is already here. It's not something you have to make happen. You don't have to make awareness happen. You see? You are the awareness itself. But it appears as though the awareness, when it manifests as presence, it needs the body, and somehow this sense of presence gets identified with the body, and then a secondary, like a second entity come out as the me, the personality, like this. It is also presence, but it's limited presence, conditioned presence. And at a certain point in your life, it begins to squeeze. You don't want to fit, you can't fit into this limited presence. Something once again now to be unlimited again. Then you may call that the pull of spirituality, you can call, or religion, whatever we want to say. Something feels, I am not just this, more than this. And it's returning again to its original being, original place. You see? But if you look to the mind, there will always be another condition to fulfill. Oh yeah, you almost forgot this, and you got to go back and tidy up. But all of that is just an idea. You are already the self, and it has no condition.
So a relaxed attention is what I'm hearing you say. Is that?
Relaxed attention.
Yeah, to these things instead of trying.
Yes. Also, what is trying so hard? Is it the self that's trying so hard? Is it the body? It's not the body. Is it the self? And you understand what I mean by the pure self. It's not. What's it? Why is it trying to do anything? It's simply here. It is in perfect equanimity within itself. So if something is trying, is the idea you have of who you are is trying to do something. It's just an idea. Your self-image is trying to accomplish something, but that is only a phenomenon. It's a very intimately created phenomenon. And so we have a lot of protectiveness. Once consciousness identifies with the body, it begins to protect also the conditioning sometimes for a while. Because being itself timeless, it became attached to the time body, and so it came into time. Then it feels urgency. Many things I have to do and accomplish them. I'm now 35, I'm getting old, it's time to have my children, it's got a lot of agendas. Again, when somehow your attention moves back into presence and into being, these concerns are not there. And one finds, but all is well. All is well. And then the mind flares up again, and the feeling comes, no, what am I doing? I mean, I've got things to do. My life is passing by. All my friends are married, have children, and I'm here, hitchhiking around the galaxy, but I'm alone. And you're watching all this play. At some point, you lose also interest is going with that. And something is already in recognition of its own perfect balance and harmony. It's exquisitely happy. So don't try and fulfill any condition like, okay, now I've got to make sure if I can only love the last two. You see, because I have love to the whole universe, but my neighbor is not easy. Or whatever, you see? And then, oh my God, So don't try to fit into any shape. Just stay only as the awareness. And then you'll see how illusory these intentions are. When you identify with them, they seem vital and they seem important, and I've got to get past this. But again, when the attention rests in presence again, it seems, but my God, what was all that about? It's a kind of madness. There was a madness. And it's gone. If you drink a lot of alcohol, you start to talk alcohol. You sound like alcohol. And it comes with it. And then when it's wore off, then you say, oh. If somebody plays a tape of you talking, you say, my God, that's not me. Only in such a state is the peace that is there so reassuring, and so totally content enough to be still. And I don't even know if that's, the stillness is there. Contentment didn't bring stillness. How to come out of this dream, the waking dream and the sleeping dream. Dream meaning the imagery of creation, the imagery of the vital force, the imagery of the existence in time, such as future and past and present, and identity. There has to be, the beyond, whereby these things are seen, because where do you have to go to prove these things? Just today is good enough. Where is yesterday today?
Where is yesterday today? And when their parents tomorrow come, where is this moment in that now? Where is the pictures of today, tomorrow? Where is yesterday's pictures in you today? Yesterday, equally, a moment was there that was very, very succinct or very delicate or profound or very aggressive or something. It had an impact upon your being in some way. You know, where is it now? Where is it? Where is yesterday? Sometimes it says 9:15. Where was 9:15 yesterday? We speak about the past, where it come from. Where do you keep your past? Where's the past? That we give so much importance and credibility to it. I think if a human being begins to question a little bit like this, a clarity must prevail at the end of this inquiry. You know, I'm saying these things over and over again. I don't know if I'm just a failed missionary or something, because I did not come from that background, particularly in its religious, you know, costume. I was not a thinker. I'm not a thinker. You know, I didn't grow up in a kind of like debates and thinking and introspecting and meditating. I was never doing that. I was more of a sports guy. I never read books and, you know, very basic kind of guy. Watch movie, read comics, and, you know, fool around. Make a lot of sports and all of that. And how radically that life changed, whereby these things can be spoken about. And so, I mean, something happened here. I mean, you are going north and you end up in the east. What happened to you? I said, well, I don't know actually. But something did take place, something inside here, and a reorientation of direction somehow took place now. And I'm now speaking about these things. I'm not sitting here talking about martial arts or arts or any of the arts or, you know, any philosophy. I'm just somehow bringing awareness, bringing attention to this, which I've found of all the varying subjects in the human kingdom. And this is the ever prevailing one. What is your essential condition? You know, because everything got burnt by this fire. You know. And you have to be strong to be in this. When I say you have to be strong to be in this world, what world am I talking about? The world that is lived in the mind. The world that is the world of human beings relating to other human beings, about life and ideology and their own personal mythology and identity. The interaction that happened in the marketplace called existence. This is what I say is very complex. Because who sent us in particular here? You know, when our parents were pregnant, mother pregnant with you, she was expecting a child, but was she expecting you particularly? And who are you particularly? You keep changing. Sometimes you're blue, sometimes green, sometimes yellow, sometimes no light, sometimes brown, sometimes pink. You know, who are we? The child of our parents. We can't even stand still. We cannot be still. Something always cooking, is always moving. But there is that which somehow looks upon that also, on the changeful aspect, the changefulness, and watch it from a place of unchangingness. Otherwise the changeful could not be perceived as changeful, were it not for the unchanging. When one contemplates like this, all the subjects, all the differences, and so all of them, they vanish. Because they can't come here. There's a place where the world stops. Beyond that gate it cannot come. There's a place where the person stops. Beyond this gate it cannot come. And you are here. But when I say we have to be strong for this world, we're in our individual worlds, but we're in a common world in a way, because all the individualities, this is, like I said, it's the same guy, it's the same world being looked at in a slightly different way in each one. But it's like when you are from in the English-speaking world, you can speak with everybody who speaks English. We can correspond. You know, we can correspond. And if we find an interpreter, we can correspond to people in different languages also. And you come to find out they are the same guy. But you need a code to work with him. I don't know why these type of discussions produce so much joy. Maybe that's what they are about. And where did joy come from? Somehow the absence of the person. The real observing into the truth removes the person. When the person is removed, there's pure joy. And where there's pure joy, this is, you are in the presence of God, in the holiness itself. Because joy is God's perfume. Peace is God's perfume. Love is God's perfume. So when the person is out of the way, the smelly little person, then you're in the perfume of the holiness. You see? You caught him. What does it take from me? What does it take from you? Nothing at all. What does it take from you?
Attention and eventually belief again. Somehow.
But how can it take that? It cannot take that. It can appeal for that. It cannot take it. It is you who give attention to it or something. Just out of habit. You have to acknowledge your power. You cannot just keep giving things away and say, oh, because this thing here arise means that I'm distracted. No, you're not because of that. Why do you refuse your power to acknowledge yourself? You give acknowledgement to everything else, something out external. Look at this thing. Oh, this thing is going now. Why does this thing go, Mooji? Why does this thing go now? I say, what thing? That thing, Mooji. I'm not here to look about. What about you? I want to see you. I want to show me this thing. I want to show me that thing. Hear about that thing and this thing. There's so many things in the world. We have to look in that thing. But you, I want to meet. Because the God has showed itself in this body. Then something seems to be obstructing the. So how can anything obstruct the God? Then I see that the powers are misused to give attention to things which are really of little value in themselves. They only have the value given to them. Can a thing have value in itself? Does gold have value in itself? There was no human being. Would gold be valuable? Would gold be arguing, you know, I'm 22 karat gold, you're only 18 karat, ha 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 ha, I am above gold? No, for whom? It's you who give the value to it. Whatever you value, whatever you want, you give value to it. Early explorers used to go to some country, find that they have gold, and exchange gold for what? Lots of other little nonsense things. I give you a mirror. Look, you can see your face. Ah! Oh, I take your gold. Yeah, take it. Very good. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh. Laughing. Look at them. Oh my God, he's giving me something mystical. What a stupid man. He took all my gold and gave me this. Amazing. Wow. I wonder if there's some place you can get more of this from. And then more of them are coming. Ah, look, mirrors. Oh, gold. Take all the gold. Why? You value this thing. They value that thing. Does the thing have value in itself? No. The value is in you. If you really understood this, all your questions and doubts would perish. Isn't it? Why would you be coming asking, well, sometimes my mind... Well, you would not have. It's finished. It's finished. If you're found what doesn't even take not 1 minute, not even 1 second. It doesn't take 1 second even. I have not heard anybody talking about it.
It's just that there seems to be a lingering confusion that somehow is...
Suppose you don't have time to be confused. What doesn't take time? There's no time to be confused.
Silence.
Huh?
I would answer silence.
Why bother answer? You see, maybe you are just getting a little bit acquainted with me. Maybe we're on different time frame. Because I am only here now. You understand? I can't answer for later on. The closest people to me, sometimes they still ask me, you what about tomorrow? What do you want to do today, later on, or what do you want to do? I said, but you're with me all the time, and you still don't know. I don't know nothing about these things. I know nothing about tomorrow. I've never seen tomorrow. I don't know it. So I am more want to know, where is the top of the game right now? I want to know about it tomorrow. Tomorrow don't exist for me. If it exists, it has to be here now. You follow? Are you on my wavelength a little bit? Because the rest is just excuse for me. It's just excuse because you're not up for just being what is. We're only always on the way to what is. You're never enough just what is. So this is why you need time. So time give you this. You want something from time? Take some of that. But what doesn't take time? You say, but there's something that creates confusion. I ain't got time to be confused. I don't have time to be confused. To be confused, you need some time. And you need something. I don't have nothing. And don't listen to me like I'm speaking some kind of little game or some riddle or some kind of novelty. I'm speaking to you as honestly as words can express that my truth. So therefore, I've got to wait for you. Why have I got to wait for you? All of you tell me I've got to wait for you. Why can't we be in real time together or in no time together? I feel very much. You see, wonder maybe we might arrive together. We might just be here together. Can we be here together? Our bodies is in the same time together, but are we in the same time together or timelessness? I have to wait for everybody. Only when you're empty, I don't have to wait for you. You follow or not? So it's a clue how you are being in your own life. You're waiting for something. And if you're waiting for something, you're not present. Now the thing you're waiting for, is it waiting for you? You want to do something about something. I don't have to do anything about anything. And what I say, let's meet. Let's meet. But do we need an appointment? Appointment means not now. You follow? Let's meet. You say when? I say, now. Now doesn't need any appointment. Appointment means later. Your whole life is later. Waiting for something to happen. What you're waiting to happen itself cannot happen. You're waiting for what cannot happen to happen. So when will that happen? This is going to be one of my best YouTubes. Isn't it? For the one who has the eyes to see it, the mind to see it. Even if you try to focus, you're already late. Even if you try to focus on what I'm saying, to try and understand, you are already late. Because your very attempt already is seen in that which is timeless. And that one which sees your attempt is not interested in your attempt, or even you. And now, are these words offensive, you see? Somebody would be offended by them. Because the mind wants to do. So what do I do? I said, but doing takes time, baby. What doesn't take time? What is it that you don't have to do, nor can you undo? In England, the Englishman is saying, how do you do? I don't do. So, instantly, more instant than instant is what? Come on. More instant than instant. No time for a relationship. No time to separate. No time to meet. No time to meet. Then what? Now what? You have to reject me or accept me.
I accept you.
It's already done. You see, that cannot even accept or reject me, isn't it? I'm trying to show you where we've never separated. Are you up to speed? Because when I speak like this, then you start to see, my God, I'm so slow. I'm so slow. Because everything about me take time. Everything about me take time. To meet God, that's going to take even more time. My God, I don't need a lot of time. People tell you, I need more time. I need more time. What doesn't take time? Time is in the domain of ignorance. And don't try and do anything because that's wrong already. What you're trying to do take time. What does not take time? There's already a very strong reflex that maybe as soon as you think this conversation is over, which makes no difference to what is, it wants to slip back into, okay, I can breathe again, because I'm back into ignorance. You're going to go back to time, because what we are used to is time. Yeah, we're comfortable. Yeah, what time you want to go tomorrow, Mooji? At 7 o'clock? Okay, I'll be there 10 to 7. That's our life. Miss 10 to 7. But what doesn't take time? Be in that, as that, which does not take time. Now, what you're going to do with my words when I say that? Who receives the words? Who responds to them? They're only reflecting back something which is not time. It's opening up something to show you what is not time. But this thing is not apart from you. This is the mystery. In any circle you sit now in the universe, in the world, people discussing, beings discussing these things. This what I'm speaking now, this is what you have to hear. I'm telling you. I wonder if you have a sense or not about it. Yes. That which does not take time. The others, we want to do this and we've got to do this and try to get into this and to try and explore what is inside the atom. You, bye. You're time investors. Timeshare. No. What does not take time? This is the good news, I tell you. This is the good news. Set your heart free. Set your heart free. Take you out of this room of suffering and projection, fantasy and delusion. What does not take time? When you find that out, you are in love already. It does not need time to love. Love knows nothing about time. Peace knows nothing about time. Joy knows nothing about time. Wisdom, nothing about time. The divine, nothing about time. Timeless, eternal, they say. But who is going to collapse in what I'm speaking? Something in you understand immediately, you see. When I speak to you, something in you already understand immediately. It doesn't have to do anything at all, isn't it? Something immediately knows what I'm speaking. You know? And as joy in itself. It may say for hundreds of years, I'm trying to release this to myself. But today, enough grace is here to say and hear myself at the same time. To speak and hear myself instantly. No delay, no time. Once you have heard it in your heart, you cannot be fooled by time. You cannot be fooled by time. This is why every time I hear people talking, yeah, Mooji, the trouble, if you're already in this time, darling, I don't have time for you. I'm here for a little time with you to introduce you to the timeless. One day I'll go. I don't know when that one day, it could be one day in timelessness I'll go. I'll leave time. While we have a little time, don't waste it. Use it to find the timeless. the truth is blessing every facet of the expression in the manifest world. The impact of it. Because I see the rest, once you've seen like this, the rest is a trick of the mind. If you make your stance in the mind, you have to play by the rules of the mind, and the rule of the mind is time and effort and identity. And then you go around on that merry-go-round for, I don't know, it's not so merry actually. You go around for quite a little while, because it is creating time, produce time, selling time, selling effort, selling belief, selling concepts, selling duality, selling distance, selling separation, selling promises. You're trying to sell God, selling truth. But I point you directly, that which is not in the bubble of that delusion. So what should we do now has got nothing to do with it. It is not a doing thing. Now, do you hear this thing in your head, in your heart, or in everything that you can say is you? Which part does that go to?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, thank you. Everywhere. We've been talking about something, and sometimes I discuss it a little bit with Arjuna. We've been using sometimes some timber that we buy, and they say that, we call it talized wood. I first learned about this term in England. Talized wood. This is a wood, it looks like any other wood, you buy it like this, but you put it in the ground, it doesn't rot. So no insect can live in it. Okay? It just does not rot like that. Okay? They say. I said, how is it possible? Because I put a regular piece of wood and a talized wood together, and then this one, after you put it in the ground after 1 year and stuff like that, you can just take it and break it with your hand. But this one, it's the same. Then I heard about the process. I don't know if it is true. Maybe somebody here who is more technically aware of this than I am. But they say they put the wood, the regular wood, in a chamber, like in a big kind of tube. And then this tube, they create kind of like, they suck all the air out. They draw out, like they suck all the air out. So whatever moisture was inside the wood, when they turn up this thing, goes suck everything out, no? So they're now inside is a tremendous tension inside this vacuum, and then at the other end they release this liquid, and when they release it, it replaces what the other one came out, something like this, yeah, and that just gets filled back with this particular chemical treatment that makes the wood, gives it that longevity. And all those years ago, it struck something in my mind. Yeah. I was praying to God, talize me. You understand? You understand this prayer? Yes. Yeah. Talize me. Put me in your vacuum. Suck out all my bullshit. Okay? And release you. Talize me. Many, many years ago. Such was the impact. How long it takes. So, to be talized, it's also a phenomenon. Because the truth doesn't need to talize anything. You understand? It is. Talizing takes some time. Even a second, a microsecond, it's finished. Truth doesn't take that. Why? Because it is everywhere the same already. This is why I tell you, when my master spoke, instant awakening. Then I am telling you, not even instant. What does not take time? So you may say understanding somehow maybe take time. A little time, instant, to recognize the timeless, isn't it? Instant to recognize the timeless, like that. Then where does it fit in? The progress and the hardship and the suffering. And please help me. Oh, and this thing. Does that have a place? You see? I say, yeah, it has a place. It is also the play of the dynamic consciousness which manifests as time also. And change and identity, because it needs an identity. Only the identity can evolve in time. Without an entity, can there be evolution? There must be some form, then you can have the evolution. Then this is the form. And the form, you may say, is evolving through the natural biological process of growth and decay. The mind is evolving, also evolutionary, through intelligence and experience and learning and so on. But the inmost one, does it evolve, you see? The ever perfect. But how do you know there's an ever perfect? Maybe that's just a concept also. How can you prove it's ever perfect? Okay, forget ever perfect. Let's just say everything you see is imperfect. What gives you the ability to know that it's imperfect? Because it is subject to change. If everything is subject to change, you would not even have the concept of change. Isn't it? You can only perceive that which is changeful because there is that which is unchanging. But the unchanging you cannot see. You can only know it by knowing that which is changeful. When you know what is changeful, immediately what is unchanging is there. Maybe it is enough for today to tell you that. More than this you don't need to hear about now. Thank you, thank you. Too much love. Too much love, too much peace, too much space, too much joy, too much light. Too much holiness. Too much perfection. Too much God. Too much, too much, too much. This is what I have to say. If you ask me, what is my perceiving? It's too much. It's too much true. Too much happiness. Too much contentment. Too much light. Too much peace. Too much joy. Too much timelessness.
We can feel it.
And it is infecting you to remove you and leave only the timelessness. Leave a little bit you. Why not enjoy a bit of you? And a bit of you too. Why not have a little bit? No harm. You without you and you with you. Before I was saying you without you. First you come to you without you and then you can have the you back. Give him a ride. You without you and you with you if you want. No harm done. Too much. Too much happiness. You ever hear anybody say like that? Too much happiness, too much joy, too much love. Huh?
Yes.
Yes? Who? Come the whole world can drink as much joy, as much happiness as it wants. But it only has to be a bit empty first, because you cannot fill a full cup. Full of joy. Today when I read this letter from this person who was writing about, somebody writing about, oh, you know, they must have seen our YouTubes or something and felt very struck and want to tell, oh, send all these biblical messages that they found in the Revelations and some of the Gospels and so on, to condemnation messages, you know, of going to hell, you're going to go to hell and all of these things. And I said, and sometimes I feel a pain inside my heart. And I said, okay, all right. Then, if I can be wrong about this, if I'm wrong about this, and then I'm also guiding others into this wrongfulness, and then put a stop to it and turn everybody to the right way, if I'm wrong about it. I have to put it like this. I'm wrong about it. And I'm here telling you, too much joy, too much peace, too much love, too much happiness, too much freedom, too much compassion, too much all-inclusiveness, too much life, too much timelessness, too much infiniteness, too much. Because what can I do but say these things? I can't say nothing else. I don't know how to say something else. How can I say anything else? Huh?
Why should you?
I can say sometimes, why not? Why I don't try? Sometimes I try and talk about something else, but all my something else is the same thing. Because it's not the something else. There's nothing else. There's no else. Then somehow, when I'm here with in a company of your company in Sangha, and then it loves it to be there. It loves its own Sangha. When it finds those that venerate it, that has a love for the truth, for the Supreme, you see, then it knows no bound but to shower love upon them, because it has a perfect excuse to do it. I don't know. And they come in all forms they come. I see the love of God, the power of the Holy Spirit and thing, working in many different expressions. It's there. Yeah. But it imparts its grace in many different ways, you know, in the form of miracles and many ways. And they are good, all is good. But this way is very beautiful. The all-encompassing way. The path of emptiness, not somethingness. Because wherever there's something, there's going to be competition, there's going to be comparisons, there's going to be preferences, there are going to be rejections, there's going to be war, there's going to be conflict. But when there is that holy emptiness, then the fullness the real fullness can show itself, because it will not be stained by the delusions of the ego. It cannot do it. I feel to say like that. And you are so filled with joy, you don't even want to go to bed, you can't sleep, even your body is tired, don't know what it means, that body is tired, I'm tired. Yes. I don't know when this body will expire, but sometimes I feel that some more time in it would be appreciated to prolong this joy in the sharing of this pointing. But it's not up to me in that way, if I can say like that. And you know that all of this is just a play, don't you? Eh? It has to be a play. Every day fresh. Who writes this play? Eh? This play, the infinite one. Every day this play is going on. And every character has a role in it. Even the viruses have a role to play. Even the worms, if you go to the belly of the earth, you find creatures there. Every one of them are playing their role perfectly. Everyone, even the dung beetle. The tapeworm. The flea, everything. Everybody has a role they're playing in this great play. The great play of consciousness, the great dream of consciousness. No rehearsal. Take one. Take one, give one, take one. And because there's no rehearsal, you can just relax. Because everything you do is in the play already. You like it? It's very nice. Huh? You can't do anything wrong. Even your mind is in the play. Yes, even your mind is in the play. The only thing is, you must know that. There is something that's not in the play. But even your mind is in the play. So you can just relax, let him go. Only thing, don't identify with him. Remember, you are just the ultimate witness of it. Who is on the balcony watching all this? The Supreme Lord of the Universe. And you. He knows what I'm talking. You all do. But now it's been made very clear. Both your body and your mind and your emotions, all of it is already a part of the play, the great play. Just don't be confused that it is you. You are the witness. You get the feeling, even the feeling that it is you is part of the play.